Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 19 and we are about to enter the Gearbox vault. And you're probably wondering where the name comes from. Well, it could be a reference to Borderlands, with that being made by Gearbox, and the vault on top of that gives it even further affirmation that it's probably a giant reference to that game. One of the cool things is, though, a lot of the enemies in that room all kind of look like Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. They all have the engineering suit on, the giant, fucking oven for a face and all that great stuff. And it's just a mass of references, which is really cool. But we've got to listen to this silly bastard first, yabber on, like he always does, because that's pretty much all Redstone really does. But if you're just tuning in, we are back in the warm buzzing of Rage, and it's been a while since I've done a commentary for this one, so I'll have to get my bearings, do bear with me. But we are coming up to the last third of the game here. There's a couple missions left. Each of them is pretty simple, but they definitely up the tier of difficulty for these, because there's more enemies, there's more heavies, there's more things that might be, redeemed as being more challenging. But once our Roy's finished talking, you can venture off and get to the management office. And this is the part I really didn't understand, because if I'm completely honest, I played the last half of this game without any sound because I found the story as interesting as, drinking soup. It was just fucking dull. And there was just nothing appealing about it whatsoever. The characters were dull and boring. They looked very nice, they animated even better, but everything they had to say was just tripe. It was just wallpaper paste. There was nothing of substance. And I lost interest very quickly, so I was always playing it with podcasts on and things like that. So I didn't really pick up on much of the story of Subway Town. It just looked kind of nice. And feel free to drop a comment if you can answer these questions, because it would be nice to know. But why exactly is this Gearbox vault in the middle of Subway Town, and why are they hostile to the rest of the population here, when in essence it is a doorway off the main access area, and then inside it is a bunch of lethal dudes that could kill people, yet everyone here is chilling out as if nothing's happened because we opened this door and we're magically warped into this place that is suddenly dangerous. And to me, it didn't make a lot of sense why this was here. It was this kind of like the internal politics of this place. I had no idea, but all I know is here we are, and we're going to do some shooting, because, Rage is a first-person shooter, and by God does it remind you of that every fucking opportunity you want to do anything different. But be careful when you move through this room, because this is, for all intents and purposes, this is a car park. There are lots of cars, there are lots of ruins, and there are lots of heavily armoured enemies, and these enemies are going to start using the sentry bots. So you'll see those little spider bastards from Lost in Space coming for you, and they take a beating. If you have EMP or any other grenades, they do make short work of them. But it's just a case of moving forward, taking your time, picking your shots, and don't rush too far, because you can sometimes run into a really bad situation of a load of guys shooting you at the same time. But as I've probably mentioned on other videos, I do not believe this game to be very challenging at all. I do not think you will have any problem with it, and if you play intelligently, you will be laughing and you'll have your achievement that's only worth 25G, but I'll let him off for that, because I'm a bit hypocritical when it comes to achievements, and I realise this when I talk to my friends, because we always use Gears of War and Halo as good like idols when it comes to achievements for stuff we like but stuff we don't like. And what I mean by this is, if you beat Halo, you generally get about 500 achievement points, because there's a level for every level. There's a level for every level? I'm not even making sense. It's only 2 in the afternoon and I'm still not making sense. Let me just retrade. For every level you get an achievement, and then at the end of the game you get every difficulty achievement, and you generally get a lot for the different difficulties. They stack up and you get a lot of points. Gears is exactly the same, only it's more indulgent because it gives you 2 achievements for some levels, because it's fucking weird. But at the same time, it's a good thing if you want quick gamer score, which is always nice, but it would be cool if they weren't worth the same value, if they were worth a little bit less, so that there was more achievements in the more not so convenient aspects of the gameplay, in unorthodox areas, and that made you go out of your way to do something different. And it's the eternal argument with people that like achievements and the people that like, to replay games. Do you want it all to be in one playthrough and easy, or would you prefer it to be in a eclectic bunch? And I do know Resident Evil 4, the high-definition remake that they brought out, that is harnessing a lot of negative attention from achievement whores and people who really enjoy Resident Evil 4, because you can pretty much get all the achievements on one playthrough, and everybody was looking forward to doing ridiculous stuff within the game because it's got such a cool, you know, economy and such a cool environment to play with, and it's all very standard and a little bit dull. So I don't know what your guys' standpoint is on it. I know me personally, it's always nice to have the games that have, you know, 90 achievements to get, even though that is classed as illegal by the, you know, the verification process that Microsoft's supposed to enforce, yet somehow the orange box managed to get like 99, which is ridiculous. But I don't know. There's times when I wish a game had more achievements, and there's times when I wish it had less. I'm kind of, you know, I can't make my mind up. I'm almost hypocritical with a lot of it. And one theme I've noticed a lot with video games, especially on the Xbox, because I don't really have too much experience with downloadable content on the PlayStation 3, because, you know, I don't really have that many games worth playing for it. But, ooh, this is interesting, by the way. This guy is a heavy, obviously. He's got a little minigun, and I put myself in a real shit sandwich. But what you can do is, you can lead these guys to do a melee attack. And if you keep circling around them, they'll try and punch you, and it doesn't quite work. And if you keep shooting, keep going back and forth, see how he does the swing for the melee? You can kind of loop him. The only problem is, if you don't get him to do the melee, he'll start shooting you, and that is not easy to interrupt. So you better be confident in your ability to fuck with these guys. The best way to take that situation on is don't rush as quickly as I did. He'll come down the stairs and you can take him on from a distance and have no trouble whatsoever. I'm impatient, I'm impulsive, and that's why I ended up, you know, Dragon Ball Z-ing his ass. But as I was mentioning, a trend when it comes to downloadable content is, have you guys ever noticed it's always for the games you don't necessarily want to play more? And this is a theme that I've seen, and obviously there are certain things that contradict this theme. The Halo will always get DLC because it sells like a motherfucker, so will Gears, so will Call of Duty. This is just synonymous of what the games are. But a good example is Kane and Lynch 1. That game came out, it had so many fantastic ideas, turned out to be a heaping pile of shit. You played it, pile of shit, never wanted to play it again. What did they do? An extra 250G to go back in and re-experience that pile of shit with fresh eyes. And nobody wanted to do that because it sucked massive cock. And there are loads of games where you just wonder to yourself, how the fuck did they get permission to release more content when the game probably didn't sell, nobody fucking likes it, and it's about as fun to play as what fire is to, you know, sensitive parts of your genitalia. It's just not cool. And somehow it works that way. And DLC seems to be getting stranger as the industry starts getting more dependent on online passes and, you know, giving the consumer something that's going to make them buy their game and keep their game, or just when it comes from, you know, a retailer's perspective of, buy this game from us, we have this X amount of special things, everybody else only has Y amount of special things, come and buy our special thing. And it's almost getting to, you know, like prehistoric levels of, you know, whoever's got the biggest dick wins the dick sword fight. And I don't know how I feel about it personally, because a good example is the Batman Arkham City that's coming out. Oh, it's already out for you American bastards. But, and probably the rest of the world, because Europe's so far behind everything, aside from, you know, shit porn, and nobody wants shit porn, and nobody wants porn that involves shit, but we've got both of them, thanks to lovely East European countries. But I just don't understand why there's this massive, like, for instance, I think Play.com, you get Batman from the Future costume. If you get it from somewhere else, you get the Nightwing DLC. If you get it from somewhere else, you get, you know, Adam West Batman, or God knows who. I'm going to say Frank West then, but that's him from Dead Rising. And all sorts of stuff. It's like if you buy it from this shop, you get a pair of golf clubs and a miniature golf set for your children, where you can take them out on a Sunday night and molest them savagely with your 9-iron. It's just weird. It's a weird trend that everything seems to be getting into, and I'm not too sure if I like it, because Batman isn't even out in my country and there's already achievements for DLC. And to me, if you have all this extra content, why not just put it in the fucking game? It seems to make a hell of a lot more sense to have, you know, a better package rather than continually adding to it, because all it's going to do is it's going to turn console gaming into a subscription based, you know, fucking carrot on the stick consumer market, just like MMOs on the PC, where they pay the subscription fees, we don't realise we're paying subscription fees because it's masked under the title of DLC. So every so many months we keep shelling out money to get extra bits of content, when really all we're doing is this highly disguised form of fucking prescriptive payment. And I'm not happy with it, but I'm just one dude talking over a video, and you know, I can't really change anything. But if you've got any opinions that you want to share, feel free to drop them on. This Rage videos are not getting that much attention purely because this game is a piece of piss, and it's a shame because some of the commentaries are one of the better ones that I've done. I've managed to talk about some random bullshit and just the average Joe kind of stuff. But when you come down this lift and you push through here, the flames will come down, and you're going to move into another area filled with pretty much the same guys, and this is about as copy and paste gameplay as you'll see in Rage. Fire comes up, it blocks your path, bunch of guys turn up, you shoot them in the face, a heavy will turn up, you start slapping them in the balls, whatever you want to do. There's no real, you know, definitive way of doing this. There's no, if you have this, you will win every time. It's just a case of, you've played a first-person shooter before, you're playing a first-person shooter again, and if you are stuck, you're watching this video because you want to see one of the ways to do it. And I should probably talk about Batman, because first thing, guys, my guide is going to be a little bit later than usual. The main reason is I'm not actually going to be able to play it. It comes out on the Friday, this Friday coming, which will be the 21st of October. I will get it the day before on Thursday, but unfortunately I'm going to see, well, I say unfortunately, scratch that. Fortunately, I'm going to see my girlfriend, so I won't be able to play it until the following Monday. And that is when my uni week starts afresh. That's when I'm in real early and busy as balls, and coming home real tired and, you know, lethargic, and I don't want to do anything, let alone record gameplay. So it'll probably be a little later because I'll be playing through it. I don't know how long it is, and once I've got through it, I'll power the guide out as quickly as I can. But one of my subscribers dropped a comment on a Rage video when I was talking about Arkham City, and he divulged some information I already kind of knew but didn't want to accept, and when I saw it in writing, it reinforced it even more. And that is the fact that Arkham City does not have a difficulty. So straight away, I kind of don't want to do a guide, because I'm getting to that point now where I'm putting a lot of effort into videos that aren't getting seen, so you start to question what the fuck is the point type of thing. And if it's a good game, I really don't mind, and I know Arkham City is going to be a good game, and it's probably going to get a lot of views, and there's a bunch of subscribers that are really looking forward to it, but I could be focusing on something like Dark Souls that I know people are going to need. And I don't know, it's an interesting perspective, because there's the personal side of my YouTube channel where I want to do Batman, and then there's the professional side of, you know, helping people, where I know Dark Souls would be a better bet. In fact, as much as I hate body count, that game is pretty challenging. I'm having a lot of trouble with the first boss because the game is fucking dog shit and I don't like the controls. A guide for that could probably be useful to people, but I really do not enjoy playing it, so I'm not going to do it. That's what that boils down to. But there's only another minute left of this video, so I'll continue my talk about Batman in the next one. What's going to happen here is when you move into this next room, a bunch of fire is going to block your path when you try and go out of this area. And what will happen is 2 heavies are going to spawn. You want to save before you take on this fight. It's not difficult, but they will kill you very quick if you're unlucky. So there's the first one. You want to make sure you've got your pop rockets on your shotgun or any other explosive device. If you have grenades, if you have the rocket launcher, they will work as well. You just need to be aware, 2 heavies coming from 2 separate sides, they will try and pincer you. So try and get them bottled together so you can damage each of them. Pick the first one off, and then it's gravy. Then it's just dead simple. And if the helmets are off, throw your wind sticks because it's an instant decap pretty much. And if you've got the upgraded ones, it's even powerfuler. And it makes very quick work of a potentially challenging enemy. So yeah, I think there's 2 parts of the Gearbox vault, so it's not too large of a level, but you'll see the conclusion in the next section. So thanks for watching, guys, as always, and you take care now.